In this video, we go through dividends and how this software treats dividends. To generate and manage dividends, you navigate to dividends under loan management menu. Here, you will see all dividends, both old and pending dividends here. The first tab shows the current pending dividends that have not been paid off or cancelled. Then the paid tab shows all the dividends that have been paid off or been closed to to accounts payable. Then we also have the cancelled tab. Here is where you'll see all cancelled dividends. Dividend can be declared and then be cancelled. Cancelled dividends has no effect to the accounting system. Now, to declare dividends, make sure that you get this right, because any mistake when declaring dividends might complicate things. Dividends are usually declared after a certain period of or at the end of the trading period, or how it can be decided within the organization, and it is usually a portion of the profit that board of directors will decide to be issued as dividends. So to declare dividend, click dividends, indicate the start date from which the trade period, that is the trading period under which you want to declare dividend, and how much of the profits is going to be issued as dividends. In this case, it's default to 100%. For example, if you have 100,000 as profit, all the 100,000 is going to be issued as dividend. Now, suppose you have a profit of 100 and you only want to issue 70%, then you enter that as dividend, meaning 70% of the profit is going to be issued to members or shareholders as dividends. Then click distribute dividends. Simple like that. So this software automatically generates and distributes dividend based on shareholder percentage. I can also make some distributions or also do some editing later. So like here you can say for Jessica, total dividend that she's supposed to be paid is 1321, and out of this 1321, if you want to withdraw to receive 1,000 in cash and maybe 321.26 as shares to be accrued to her shares. Now, when you are distributing dividends, the total distributed appropriated amount must match the total dividend. If it doesn't match, you'll see the value here highlighted in red. So repeat doing that and then save. And when you save, those changes have been persisted. That doesn't mean that dividends have been paid. No, you can still come back and do it. Continue filling and making those changes. I will post this video now to complete filling, and I will come back and show you how we can pay dividends and how this can impact your accounting system. Just a moment. Now, when you have pending dividends, as I said earlier, it will be shown on this tab, and when you click the row, the entry in the pending in the dividends, you will open details, and here you can continue filling, making all those changes that you want. Then once you are done, if you are ready to pay dividends, remember that the time of declaration might not be necessarily the same time you want to pay. But when everything is okay, here you are allowed to make changes and still save those changes. But when you have done everything, make sure that the dividend amount for each member matches the total appropriated. And if there is any other deductions like taxes, you only have to enter the tax percentage, but you will not have to enter the tax amount. So like when I enter the tax percentage, automatically the tax amount is generated. Note that this tax amount plus shares plus cash plus other deductions should match the total allocated amount. Now the amount that is assigned as cash is going to be credited on bank account. Amount that is allocated as shares is going to be credited on members' shares, and amount that is allocated as other deductions. This can be internal issues or a certain percentage of dividends, maybe to cover other things. that can be defined outside this system, but it's going to be credited to retained earnings, meaning it is going to grow equity of the organization. Once you are done, just click pay all. So this button will make sure that everything should be okay before you do this. And once you pay all, nothing else can be done on those dividends will now migrate into uh, paid dividends. Coming up, there are a couple of things you need to know about dividends. When you navigate dividend and we have pending dividends, you will also see a cancel button. So pending dividends can be cancelled, and once the dividend have been cancelled, we'll have a control transaction that rolls back the declaration of dividends and has no effect whatsoever to the accounting system. However, you cannot cancel dividends that have been paid or partially paid. With partial payment, it means that you can the payment have been initiated and some of the distribution have been cleared, at least even a single thing. You cannot be able to cancel such a declaration. Another thing you have to know about dividend is that paid dividends cannot be modified or cannot be edited. Once it moves to this, we cannot be able to do that. And when we have pending dividends, you cannot declare another dividend until the pending dividend have been offset or been closed to retained earnings. Another thing about dividends is that the dividend is just a fraction of the or a whole amount of profit. And if there is no profit during the period you are declaring dividend, then you are not able to do it. You are not able to declare dividends. Why? Because dividend is a portion of profit. You can also not declare dividends or overlapping dividends. Suppose the last dividend that was declared was January 1 to January to March 31st. You cannot declare another dividend that includes the dates that it's within the range of the previous declaration. For example, that one that runs from maybe March to June, when March was part of the previous declaration, which was January 1 to March 31st. So those are called overlapping declaration. This is is needed to ensure that there is not duplicated or double counting whenever we are generating dividends. One more thing about dividend is that whenever we generate dividends, there is something called closure of books. Closure of books, it means that revenue accounts are closed to income summary, expense accounts are closed to income summary, and also income summary is closed to retained earnings. And whenever dividends is declared, then retained earnings is dividends is closed to accounts payable. Dividends payable, and therefore it means that all income accounts are set to zero. This is not something to concern you, but I thought you should know what exactly happens. Why? Because ChamaSoft takes care of that. And it is time to demonstrate how we can pay off dividends. Once you have correctly appropriated dividend allocation amount for members, it is time to click pay all, then confirm, and whoop, dividends have been paid. So next time we revisit the status will be updated. Another thing I would want to talk about is payment of old dividends. Now when you come to loan management menu and choose pay old dividends, first let's understand what this means. When setting up ledger opening balances, there is that possibility that there is dividends pending from the previous accounting period that it's brought down into the current accounting period. This is what ChamaSoft refers to as old dividends. And since they are coming from outside the accounting system, they are not considered as new dividends and therefore cannot be paid directly from the current business dividend declarations. So the group might find a way on how to offset those payment or how to offset pending dividends as an expense or what. But since that could not have worked, and that called for this feature to help pay off old dividends. So here, if any old dividends, we simply have to enter amount of the old dividends, whatever amount. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to pay it all. You can pay all dividends partially or at your convenience, or if you have the old money and you have paid members, you have to enter it there to offset that liability. Just say pay, then dividends are paid.